What is up, everyone? It's the Cannonball here for my final video of the year. Now, I know I said I was gonna do a live stream, but for some reason, YouTube's not letting me do that live stream, so I'm just gonna record my video, pre-record the video like I'm doing right now. I'll get the video up as soon as possible. All right, let's see here. So where do I start? 2020, you son of a bitch. How about that? Let's just start there. Let's just start there. Oh my God, what a disaster this has been. I remember when the year started back on January 1st, 2020, 365 days ago. And, you know, I got so excited, I kind of had some ennui. I wanted, like, it's a new decade, this and that, everything, this is so cool, it's a new decade, the 2020s, the 10s are over, my first full decade, you know, because I was born in 04, so, you know. And, you know, I thought it was going to be an awesome year. Then, obviously, you know, midterms came up. So, I just sat around, right, studied for my midterms because, you know, let's just say that people that I live with, they really wanted me to sit down and study. And I was only 15 years old, so it's not like I was able to drive or anything. I couldn't get out and go out and do stuff and get, you know. And I was looking to have fun after the midterms were over. I kept telling myself, just buckle down and finish it. And when we cross the finish line of the midterms being over, it's gonna feel so good. You know, it's gonna feel so good. And then have the rest of the year to enjoy myself. Boy, was I fucking wrong. Am I right or what? So, you know, there you go. So, boy, was I wrong about that. Am I right or what? I gotta stop saying that over and over again. But still, I was wrong. So, you know, I finally finished the midterms. And then less than a week later, remember, I fell ill. I took a break from Instagram. I couldn't go to Lyft in school. I couldn't record SoundCloud songs. I was, you know, I also stayed off social media for a while to get some rest. I was sick for an entire month. I didn't let it ruin me, though. I still celebrated my birthday, of course, with friends and family. I still went on vacation. So I was able to live my life normally to an extent. And we finally get out of that, and the plague hits in March. It just goes to show that everything you love can be taken away in a second. For me, it's touching my face, going out with my friends, and not being cramped in my house, not having to wear a mask on my face. But it is what it is. You know, the government did their best to not make this a problem, and we failed. The plague hit. I still remember that fateful day of Friday, March 13th, 2020. I remember March 12th, I woke up that day, and I looked at my clock, it was already like 8:15, right? I'm like, is school canceled? Did the schools close today? And so I asked my parents, I said, no, we're just gonna keep you home today because we don't feel as safe. I'm like, really, you're worried about Corona? Like, that's like a small virus from you know, only 2 people in the county have it. You're actually worried about coronavirus? I mean, it was pretty interesting when you think about how we felt about COVID back then, how we used to make fun of kids who wore masks to school. Still kind of do, because I was a little bit early to do so, but, so they kept us home. They told us that we'd probably be stuck at home on Friday too, so I was like, when am I gonna go to school next? Is it gonna be like another week or so before I get back in the building? So then I debate with my parents, right? They finally agreed to let me go to the school on Friday the 13th, that fateful day, Friday, March 13th, 2020. What a day. And actually, they told me that they were gonna pick me up before 9th period. Because that 9th period was gym anyway, so, you know, there was no reason for me to be there. And I said to my science teacher on that day, I said to her, see you in 2 weeks. Because I had a gut feeling that the schools were gonna shut down. But not for that long, like again, a week or two probably. And like, sorry, I'm actually in a public setting right now. Kids in the background. So, and you know, what happened was that it was very interesting. The fact that, what happened was that, so I told the teacher, you know, see you in 2 weeks, you know, whatever it was, right? Because I just knew that we weren't gonna be back in the, you know, and half the kids were not even in the building that day. Half the kids were not in school. And in English, right? I was like, is this me, or is it kind of feel like the last day before a break? And the teacher's like, yeah, I agree with you, Ken. It does kind of feel like that. And then the assistant principal got on the speaker and said, he said, schools are gonna be closed on Monday. All after-school events are gonna be canceled. School's gonna be closed on Monday. This and that. I was like, all right, 3-day weekend, let's go. They said they were gonna close the school for a day just so they can clean up after. The custodians and janitors could sterilize the school. So I go home, getting ready for a 3-day weekend. I was kind of worried though, because I was worried about losing spring break, which happened actually. And then on March 15th, Governor Cuomo said that he was gonna shut down the schools for 2 weeks, which was pretty devastating, right? I mean, not exactly devastating. Like, I was worried that I was gonna lose spring break, but like 2 weeks out of school, I felt that that'd be a little bit interesting, like a new beginning, new setting, right? Then I went for a walk with my dad around the end of the week. He said to me that he felt like the schools were probably gonna be closed until after spring break. And I thought that was bad. I was like, oh my God, another 3 weeks of this crap? But think about it, because April 9th, it was March 20th, and April 9th was the first day of break anyway. So it's not like we had much to do. Only 2 more weeks of school, 2.5 weeks of school virtual, and then we're back in, 1.5 weeks actually. Was it 1.5 weeks? No, it was 2.5 weeks. And then we get a break, and then we're back in the pavilion just fine again. And then we'll all be over. Everything is put behind us. And everyone keeps suggesting to me, after another week goes by, March 27th, the day that was supposed to be our last virtual day of school originally, and then everyone keeps saying, oh, we're not going back to school this year. You'll be lucky if we even get to go back to school in September. And like, it kind of scared me, It made me realize what I took for granted in the 2010s. We didn't know this plague was coming. We didn't know that schools were gonna shut down. I wouldn't get to see my friends. Everything would shut down. The malls were empty. The malls were closed. All businesses were shut down, which is kind of awful. Bad for the economy too. But I kept trying to give myself like calming statements. I spoke with other people, and I told myself, we'll be back in before the end of the year, even if we're all wearing masks on our faces. So then, spring break comes by, and I learned that spring break has been canceled because of COVID. Because we've been at home doing virtual learning for a long time. So we do more virtual stuff. Now Cuomo extended the shutdown of schools to May 15th. And something that I remember watching on the news around that time was President Trump said that on June 1st, we're gonna start to see good things happen. And I had faith in that, and Cuomo said that good things were coming too. And, and thinking about how New York State was pretty much ahead of the game, and how the wave would pass us before it passed everybody else in the country, so we'd be back to normal by, let's say, mid-May. And I was like so excited that in the summer, everything would be back to normal, this and that. Then on May 1st, I learned that the schools are gonna be closed until September, which is kind of like, it hit hard. It definitely hit hard. I had a lot going on, and I had quite the life in 10th grade. It was pretty devastating to hear that it was gonna end this way. But what I'm happy about is that we were able to go back to doing somewhat normal things around the middle of May, go out to eat in restaurants, go out to, go to the park and everything, go get breakfast out, and just have a good time, Speaking of restaurants, usually on New Year's Eve, we have a family tradition where we go to Umberto's in Plainview for lunch, and we sit down, we order some pizza, we eat there, we have a great time. Now, obviously, we couldn't do that this year. We got takeout, because Cuomo banned indoor dining. Excuse me. We got takeout, and it was still just as good. Pretty stuffing, too. I ate a lot for lunch today. But, May, we were able to go to restaurants again, outdoor dining, and I was pretty happy about that. June, school ended, and it was kind of funny. Like, I used to sit in the basement on a cardboard box and do my learning on that, and there were a bunch of ripped up cardboard boxes in the back of the basement by the end of the school year. It felt so good to just be done with school. 10th grade is over. It's hard to believe. It was kind of crazy the way that it ended. But I was ready for summer. And it kind of went well. We went to the beach a few times. We went to Montauk in July. We went to Lake George in September. Took out a speedboat. We had a great time with the family. I obviously couldn't see my friends, though. It was unfortunate. Like most people were able to see their friends. My parents are both frontline workers, so they tend to be a little bit more careful about this sort of thing than I wish they would be. So then August came. I was like, you know what? I feel like now this is when things are going to finally go back to normal. We don't need a vaccine for things to go back to normal. September comes by, and now we're going back to school, but only every other day. But you know what? Honestly, I'll take it. You know? I mean, back in March, I wouldn't have imagined that we would still not be fully back in person by, I could only imagine we'd be back in person full-time by September 8th. Back in March, that's what everyone was probably thinking. And that obviously didn't happen. You see, the thing is that was started off to be 2 weeks, right? Turned into a year. Here we are, it's December 31st. We're still not back full-time. In fact, last week they closed the schools completely. Next week we're going to resume the hybrid model. But I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to be back in person full-time without masks until I begin 12th grade, which is in September of 2021. But I definitely think that we're going to see some good things in 2021. I feel really optimistic about it. I feel like a lot is going to change within me the next year. And I felt depressed. I kind of hid out in my basement just waiting for all this to pass. But if there's one thing I learned about what to do in 2021, is to live life to the fullest. Live as if the end of the world is going to happen tomorrow. Not as if the world's going to magically disintegrate overnight, but to celebrate life as if all the fun and excitement that comes with it is to suddenly disappear the next day. Like every day is the last day before another pandemic. Because what we learned this year is that, it takes a small mistake like what happened in China. It takes a small mistake to lead to a crazy situation, and we don't know what's going to be taken away from us. Some people's loved ones have passed. Businesses shut down. People lost their money. People couldn't go hang out with their friends. On Thanksgiving we had to do Thanksgiving outdoors this year for lunch, and only for a few hours. Not everybody was there. Christmas we did Zoom, and I didn't even want to do the Zoom. I didn't even do the Zoom because, I want to take steps forwards, not backwards. I want the pandemic to get better, not worse. And the Zoom, to me, the Zoom kind of is kind of saying to my face, things are getting worse, and I don't want to have to think about that. So definitely guarantee that shit happened this year, and it was terrible. But next year's gonna be better, if you want it to be. Next year, what's important about next year is that you try to do what you can to make 2021 better. For me, 2021 is gonna be the year of recovery. It's gonna be the road to recovery. We're at the bottom right now. And honestly, this has been the worst year of many people's lives. For me, it's been pretty terrible for me too, like anyone else. Probably not the worst. One of the worst, but not exactly the worst. Definitely one of the most important. I did a lot of growing. I got my permit this year for driving. I learned a lot of life lessons. And I feel like in 2021, I'm only going to learn more. And you might learn some lessons too. Again, celebrate life as if all the fun and excitement that comes with it is to just suddenly disappear the next day. Treat every day like it's the last happy day you're ever going to have for a while. This thing's almost over. For all of you who are worried about 2021 being worse than 2020, it's not going to be. It's almost over. A vaccine's been distributed. And whether you take it or not, as long as enough people take it, there's not going to be a third thunder. We've had our second surge, but there's not going to be a third thunder. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of good things next year. That's all I can tell you. So we're at the bottom right now. What 2021 is all about is getting from the bottom to the top. That's what next year is all about. That's what it's going to be about for me, and I hope that that's what it's about for you too. Figuring how to get yourself from the bottom. We're all kind of at the bottom of life right now. Figure out in 2021 every way possible that you can do to get to the top. Because that's what I'm going to do. And 2022, hopefully, maybe, and if we can do that, 2022 might be the best year of my life and maybe the best year of your life too. If you're my age, you're graduating in 2022. So that's a big deal, big-ass deal. We're going to be adults in 2022. We're going to be off to college, most of us. We're going to become adults. We're going to, we'll be allowed to vote that year. Your parents are finally probably going to get off your back. So when you think about it, it's over, okay? The crap that happened this year, it's over, okay? There's nothing we can do. We can't change the past. Tomorrow is 2021. And I want you to say to yourself over and over again, I don't care who's watching this, whoever's watching this, I want you to say to yourself that 2021 is going to be a good year. It's going to be the best you can make it. Does that mean it's going to be the best year of your life? I don't know. That's the goal, but I can't make any promises. You can't make any promises either to yourself. I mean, we still got to live with the pandemic for a few more months. Figure out ways around it to not have to wear masks all the time. I mean, look at me. I'm in a public setting, but I'm distancing myself from anyone else that's here, so I don't have to wear a mask. If you can figure out ways to get around, that's all that matters. That's what matters, you know? And I learned a lot of lessons this year, and I hope you did too. This may have been a really shitty year, but remember, that's also been a very important year too. I think we've all learned a lot of lessons this year. And all I can do is wish for peace and a Godspeed recovery in the upcoming year. Thank you all for watching this so much. I'm actually going to be doing a special video tonight at probably a little bit past midnight, so tomorrow. But so, be on the lookout for the next video. It's going to be around midnight I release it. And hey, just take care, guys. Stay up till midnight. I know I am. Just enjoy it. Have fun. Thank you all very much for watching me. Thank you all for the support. This has been my first year on YouTube. I appreciate every subscriber that I have, every like that I've ever had, that I've ever gotten, and all the comments that you guys leave behind. It may not be a lot, but I plan to grow and rise in 2021. And with the pandemic kind of getting out of the way, I'll probably be able to go out and do shit with my friends, probably put that on YouTube. So stick around. Thank you all so much for watching this and for the love and support. Happy New Year. Peace out.